Hello everyone and welcome back to the PM Media channel. Today I want to give you guys a quick tips video about the Godox SL60-W video light and its noisy cooling fan. I am replacing the old one with a Noctua NF-A8 fan. This is the FLX version. First, let's unbox this light. I got this one brand new and I'm right now filming with the second one where the fan replacement has already been made. The first thing we need to do is to remove 4 screws on the back panel. Now that we got it open, we can disconnect the LED temperature sensor. On the other side there's a small PCB that adapts the old fan. We don't need that anymore. And then we disconnect a bridging cable. Next I am going to unscrew the small PCB by removing this bolt. This is the old fan board. I'm going to keep it inside the original packaging. Some people leave it inside the light, but I want to have it neat and clean. Don't forget to reinsert the PCB screw. Next we can continue with the front element. Right here is the front bracket of the Bones mount. To protect the COB diode, I am using a cloth towel to prevent any damage. Now I need to remove 3 more screws. This is the locking mechanism. Make sure to not lose the spring. Behind the plate there are 4 more long screws. Now the LED element is completely loose. Take out the 4 long bolts and put them aside. On the other opening of the light, make sure to cut the zip tie that holds together the fan and LED cables. Now to the cooling fan replacement. This is the old fan. As you can see, it is circle shaped and fits the cooling area very well. The mounting points are made for regular 80mm fans, but you are going to lose coverage with the Noctua. Let's take a look inside the Noctua box. Noctua included 2 low noise adapters. One reduces the RPM to 1650, the other to 1200. In order to take off the old fan, you need to take out 4 more screws. The new fan measures exactly 80mm, while the old one is 95. This means that the original fan has better coverage, which we need to keep in mind for the results. The new fan comes with a different connector, which is made for PC applications. The original one does not fit, which means that we need to solder both systems together. I am going to cut the original cable right here. What some people got wrong is that the cable we unplugged from the PCB wasn't actually the one for powering the LED. It is the cable for the temperature sensor that is sitting right in the middle of the cooler. Now we want to put the new fan on the original socket. Here you can see the Noctua doesn't cover the surface area as good as the old one did. Another challenge I faced is that the LED mounting screws are hitting the fan housing of the Noctua, now that it is square shaped and no longer a circle. In order to get this fit properly, we need to make space by using a cutting tool. I marked the spots with a pen on all 4 sides. Here you can get a better view of the problem. If you simply put in the fan like this, it is not going to touch the cooler with the isolation pads. For trimming the housing, I am using a cutting disc together with my Dremel tool. Do not forget to use safety goggles. Let's check if we made enough of an adjustment. It doesn't look as nice as before, but now there's plenty of space for the screws to fit. For the installation inside the LED housing, we do not need the isolation pads on the opposite side of the mount. We can remove those. The fan is sitting inside the housing something like this. The rubber parts are otherwise too wide to fit inside the video light. Another critical spot is the indentation close to a corner of the fan. A screw head needs to fit here before we can put the light together. Unfortunately, we need to modify this corner of the fan as well, otherwise the front cover won't fit properly. Now that this corner is modified, we can put the fan back on top of the cooler. Put the 4 mounting screws inside the holes before installing the fan. After they are installed, we can align this corner with the bottom part of the Godox. This is exactly where the screw I was mentioning needs to fit inside the indentation. Next, we reinstall 4 long screws and put the front element back together. After that, I am reassembling the Bowens mount. First you need to use the 3 short black screws to secure the ring. After that, the long silver screws for the front cover. The last thing we need to do now is resolder the fan connection and reconnect the temperature sensor. For the wire, let's take a look what else is inside the Noctua box. There are 2 cables for decreasing the fan RPM, and there is also a 30 cm extension cord. I am going to modify the extension because I do not want to change anything about the low noise adapters. Let's cut the extension cord right here. Now we need a soldering iron. I have my temperature set to 300 degrees Celsius. Make sure to also cut 3 pieces of shrinking tube. Now I am using my heat gun to shrink those tubes. And our adapter cable is finished. I tried out both of these cables in advance. One is called the RC12 and reduces the RPM to just 1200, which doesn't move enough air to drop the temperatures below 50 degrees Celsius on max power. The other is called the RC10 and adjusts the fan RPM to 1650. Without any adapters, the Noctua fan is running at 2000 RPM and moving about the same amount of air as the original fan with slightly less noise. So I am going to choose the medium RPM option to have a balance between temperature and noise. Connect one side to the fan and connect the other side to the cable we just soldered that goes directly into the main PCB. do not forget to reconnect the temperature sensor. I tidied up all cables with the original cable tie, no need for a zip tie. And the last thing before we can try out the light is to reinstall the back cover by inserting the last 4 long screws. Okay, so now the Godox is back together. Let's try it out. I just mounted my modified Godox SL60-W on my light stand. Let's switch it on. Before the modification, the original fan ran a little rough at certain angles, especially when the light was set up diagonally. This behavior is gone. The temperature of the light is slowly rising. Before the mod, my light maxed out at around 42 degrees Celsius at 20 degrees ambient. Now at full power, it doesn't go above 48. So in conclusion, I traded 6 degrees for noticeably less noise. All in all, I am not sure if I can recommend the fan swap. The old fan moves more air and fits better to the cooling design of this lamp. If you do not care about recording ambient sound when using the Godox, maybe leave it as is. I expected the new fan to be completely silent, which both of the ones I used were not. In fact, they are identical noise and temperature wise at full speed without the reduction cable. They run much smoother under all circumstances, but the airflow is still audible. And to get this done properly, you need the right tools. I did not see anyone else cut the housing because of the screws inside the cooling fins yet. Maybe you had the same problem? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, I am happy with the quality and sound improvement, though the lamp is not as cool as before. If you found this video helpful, leave me a comment and give this a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to not miss any of the upcoming stuff about video production and PC gear. See you next time.